Happy Monday, universe. How are you? Busy week ahead. You ever notice that sometimes the most inconvenient things happen at times when you have other activities going on? And I can't really lay off all of it on people who are requesting things from me. I have to lay the blame on my shoulders, the responsibility that I have to supply the state that I'm a contractor for with copies of reports for a couple of months. And I'm not always as good at paperwork as I should be. But once again, my responsibility. If I had kept them all put together in the first place, I would not have to worry. All I'd have to do is open an envelope, stick it in, and send it off. But we allow ourselves to be distracted. So, my responsibility. It's just like fitness and anything else. We could always make excuses for why we can't do things. But when you own your own business, you're never completely just answering to yourself. You answer to the government in some capacity or another. Since I'm a state contractor, I definitely answer to the government in a couple of ways. And then I'm leaving town in a couple of days, or tomorrow, to go and see my family. So, spend the holiday with them and celebrate my grandmother's birthday, which I told you about yesterday. Something that happened over the weekend that I didn't really get into was a couple of the things involving Paula Deen and George Zimmerman and the really dangerous repercussions that can come from it. And I don't even think, I'm sad to say that I don't believe people are smart enough to realize it. It unfortunately is true. Just talk about the Paula Deen thing. So Paula Deen, as you know, admitted under oath that she had at some point used the N-word. Now we don't know when, how many years ago, but there's been an unnecessary backlash. And I really mean an unnecessary backlash against the woman because she used the word. Now, a brown-skinned comedian by the name of Kevin Hart said that he didn't think the punishment fit the crime and that the uses of language was so severe. It's just outrageous. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Because, first off, the N-word is tossed around so much in rap and by people in ghetto communities. And I'm sorry, that's just the reality. You call it the ghetto. People who live in the ghetto call it the ghetto. But they toss around the N-word so much, but they want to judge other people for using it. Hypocritical. Very hypocritical. You can't allow people in your community to use the word and make it an active part of your vocabulary and the vocabulary of this society because you put it in music and expect people it not to rub off on people. It's called a pattern. So, if you don't know what a pattern is, then I feel bad for you. Secondly, if you have such a problem with that word, you think the N-word is worse than using foul language like the F-bomb or the MFer word or words or all of the other words that are used in this society in music? And unfortunately, I have to pick on rap because rappers are the ones who do it the most. It's reality. You don't have to agree with it or admit to it if you don't want to, but it just means that you're not willing to admit the reality. Not all rappers do it, but a lot of rappers do it. It's hypocritical, though. You should not be holding something against a person because, see, let's go back to this. It goes back to this. You don't think things that you do should be held against you. The things that other people do should be held against them. That's hypocritical. And that makes you less of a person, in my opinion. And Paula Deen, over the weekend, after all this nightmare, these nightmares she's had, because she admitted to using the N-word once in the past, she lost all these endorsement deals, and now the book that was making record-breaking 1,000% plus increases in pre-sales, the publisher has decided not to publish the book. I don't think that, well, I know there are a lot of people who are apparently not smart enough to realize that you're creating more separation between races and ethnicities by doing that. To add to that, you have the George Zimmerman trial. And for some reason they have chosen to acknowledge him as a white Latino. Now, why they're calling him a white Latino just sounds like they're saying, okay, well, the white Latinos are bad. We're not going to get into the black Latinos or the brown Latinos. You're creating ethnic separation, and you're going to start violence. You're going to start these riots and this increased tension. Not that there's not already tension, because no one seems to be able to understand that we should be living together and not worrying about it. You're creating unnecessary tension between races. And the mainstream, politically motivated media is dangerous. So dangerous. And they're playing people like puppets. And anyone who falls for it, it doesn't say much for you as a human being. It really doesn't. Really doesn't. Because it creates you as this, it defines you rather as this person who is so self-righteous, when I'm quite certain there is no one who is perfect. And using the N-word does not make you a horrible person. Get over it. Stop using it in music. Stop making it a daily part of your vocabulary when you walk up to someone and say, "What's up, man, N-word?" Stop using it, and people will stop saying it. Using any slur, the S word towards Latino people, the C word towards white people, and you will eliminate these problems. But don't hold a 50-something-year-old Southern woman who grew up in that environment and who said the word, don't hold it against her, for crying out loud. You may have been raised to think white people were evil. If you're brown skinned or Latino, do you really think? And you said the C word about white people or the S word about Latino people. Do you think that you have more of a right to do that than white people do? Or Latino people do, to use the N word? No, you don't. It's hypocritical. We are creating more of a race boundary between us by allowing this garbage to continue. It's just sad. And then you still have gender issues where you're letting women be treated as less or degraded in music or whatever. I don't understand how women fall for it. I really don't. Why would you want a man to insult you and consider you nothing but a sexual object? Is that what you are? Because guess what? At some point, you're a woman who listens to that kind of music. At some point, they're not going to look at you as a sexual object anymore. They're going to consider you an old woman and nothing more than that for them. They're not looking at the quality of your character if all they're considering is what it's going to be like to have sex with you. They don't care who you are here or here. From a soulful standpoint, or your personality, all they care about is what you're going to be for them. Another notch in their bedpost, so to speak. And it's sad if you fall for that. It really is. Definitely not the kind of woman I want. I don't want a woman who thinks I'm going to look at her always as just a sexual object. Because it's too easy to pass someone off for the next sexual conquest if that's all you are. And no matter how good of a woman you may think you are, or how good in bed you may think you are, I hate to break it to you, it's not about the quality of how much sex, the quality of your performance in bed. For people who look at you as a sexual object, it's just because you're a number. And that is sad if people see us that way. And that's one of the continually growing problems in America. It really is. Really, really is. And yes, I have considered leaving the United States because of that. Because I want to live in a place where we treat each other equally, regardless of any social, ethnic, or gender differences. I really do. I want us to be on the same page, equals in every way. And America seems to be drifting further away from that. And it's very, very sad. There's so much potential in this country. But we won't come together. We won't come together. At times when we need to. And say, don't bash someone for using the N-word. Don't bash someone for any ethnic slur. I ran out of time so quickly. I just never expected to go this quickly. It's just that I have so many hopes for this country and the leaders we can be in society. But if people don't stop using bad language, there was someone on the Shayloss videos that has a lot of weight to lose, and if he really put his mind to it and accomplished it, he could do great things. But he would not stop dropping ignorant words into his monologue, let's put it that way. It was F this, and MF for fat, A, and all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying I don't use bad words, but when you're trying to express yourself, it doesn't make you seem any more intelligent. It really doesn't make you seem very intelligent when you can't put sentences together that don't include the F word or foul language of some kind, come on. And don't blame your education system on it. Because just like anything else, you have a responsibility. Don't be hypocritical and think you're better than anyone else, because you're not. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else because I don't use foul language, because I do use curse words, but I don't use them to express my opinion about things. Maybe the word damn is considered a curse word. It's really more of a adjective at this point to me, and I don't use it that much. When I do use it, I feel that we as people should be able to draw words that have a definitive meaning. And the F word and MFer and the A word and all these words. And I am trying to keep this in a place where children can watch it. So keep that in mind. That's why I'm using that terminology instead of saying the full words. Because children don't need to grow up. Children do not need to grow up using that kind of language. They really don't. We need to be encouraging the development of our children in an education standpoint. To not hold things against everybody. To not hate people or try to see their demise or lack of success, or rather failure, whatever word you want to choose, because they don't say something we like, or because they say something we don't like. Hating people for making mistakes when no one is perfect is incredibly hypocritical. Once again, when it comes to swear language, foul language, I'm not saying that I'm not going to say the words, but I don't use them to express my opinions. And if I do, I use it very occasionally and very sparingly, because I like to use real words that actually have a definitive meaning. Someone said you could use the F word in any situation. Yeah. You could use the word snark in any way to describe. It's like the Smurfs, right? The Smurfs used to use the Smurf word all the time. Go Smurf yourself, or it's such a beautiful Smurfy day. That's not a real word. It doesn't have a definition. It's just a word you've decided you're going to use because you can't use a vocabulary or a dictionary to express yourself. I really wish, for example, with this gent who's losing a lot of weight, he could be a real role model. But I don't want role models who use bad language, because it's not good for children to see, and it's not good for anyone else to see. Speak your mind, and if you can't come up with words better than swear words, don't say anything, because it makes you look bad to people. It makes you look ignorant, and you're not an ignorant person. You may have chosen the wrong words to define your situation. Doesn't make you an ignorant person. It just makes you lazy. And we all get lazy and use the wrong words. But in a situation where you're putting yourself out to the world, show how smart you really are. Really. Show how smart you really are. Take effort to describe your circumstance without throwing out words. Think about what you're saying. Explain yourself. It makes you look a lot more intelligent. And you really are a lot more intelligent. Everybody is. We just get so lazy with swear words. We really do. It's just so disappointing. We have so much more inside of us as people. I really believe everyone has the ability to explain themselves without using swear words. Why do I get onto these things? I guess it's because I don't guess. It's because I'm concerned about really the de-evolution, essentially, of our society. When we have so much technology, such a vast amount of it, that we should be evolving as people and realizing none of us are perfect. Just like all of us trying to lose weight. You think we're perfect? If we were perfect, we wouldn't be trying to lose weight. So, there you go. I hope you think about what I've said. I don't want you to harp on it and throw things at other people, but just be inspired to show how intelligent of a person you truly are. Let's all move forward. We really can. I wish everybody the best. I really do. I want America to become the greatest nation in the world. We're not. Educationally, we're not. But we have the potential to grow to be the greatest leaders in this world because of the concept of democracy. If we stop, or if we get back to democracy in the first place, number one, choose the right people to lead us, and we start to evolve our education system and bring our children into a better place. We need to grow up. We need to stop living with a poverty mindset. We really do. We need to stop living in a poverty mindset and move forward. We need to spend more time with our children. I wish I had kids to spend more time with. We need to spend more time with our children. We need to encourage them to participate in the community, to work together with people, to love their family, to respect life. Gangs are horribly out of whack, and it's not an ethnic thing, because there are every race in gangs. Gangs are counterproductive. Okay, I jabber on like a monkey in a tree. That's a Forrest Gump line, by the way. All right, I gotta go. Take it easy, and have a great day. Bring some positive light to the world. You all have the ability to do it. Express yourself with good words. Leave out the garbage. Take care of yourself and live with passion.